Good morning to one and all, and sorry for the interruption. Welcome to the third day of this FDP. I hope the last 2 days sessions were very informative for you, and I hope the rest of the sessions will also you find useful. Let me give the brief of the today's schedule. The morning session is on the topic regarding scientific journal ranking Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4, and the talk is will be delivered by the speaker, Dr. P.V.V.Rajgopal sir from Triple Department, Raghu Engineering College. And the afternoon session will be on the publication ethics, that is regarding such as copyright, patent, and plagiarism. And over the session to the convener, Dr. Anandita Chatterjee, to welcome the speaker for the session. Thank you.
Thank you, Raghu ma'am. Good morning to all. Hope you are doing well, dear participants. So we are going to run today the third day of this FDP, and this is the session number 5. Now I would like to give a very brief introduction about our speaker, Dr. Rajgopal. It's a great honor to welcome Dr. Rajgopal. Dr. Rajgopal is presently working as Associate Professor, Department of Electrical and Electronic Engineering, Raghu Engineering College. And he already worked as ad hoc faculty in National Institute of Technology, Warangal from 2016 to 17. Earlier, he also worked as assistant professor in Department of Electrical Engineering, VA College of Engineering and Technology, Jamshedpur. He completed his BTech degree from JNTU Kakinada in the year 2005 to 2009, and then he completed his post-graduation from NIT Jamshedpur in between 2009 to 2011, and then he has done his PhD from NIT Jamshedpur from 2012 to 2018. He also received various grants and awards like MHRD MTech Fellowship in 2009, MHRD Doctoral Fellowship in 2012, and he has received a silver medal from National Institute of Technology, Jamshedpur in 2012. He also received an Innovative Research Laboratory for Power Electronic Application grant sponsored by AICT India under MODROP scheme, and it is completed by him. He is also a member of different committees like IQAC member, and he's an institute level coordinator of NAC Criteria 2. He is an active member in various other institutional committees. He has many international journal publication in high impact factor journals such as IEEE System, Energy, Renewable Energy, Power Research, and so on. And he is also working as reviewer in several journals like IEEE, in Journal of International Electric Power and Energy System, Electric Power Components and System, Taylor and Francis, and IEEE Transaction on Cyber Electronics. With this short introduction, I would like to invite Dr. Rajgopal to take this session and deliver his talk. Sir, welcome you for this talk. Over to you now.
Thank you, madam. I hope my voice is audible to everyone.
Yes, sir, it is audible.
Okay, I hope it is very clear to everyone, to the participants also.
Yes,
and
sir.
Thank you for giving me a good opportunity. And I would like to start this session with a very warm welcome to participants and the convener and the coordinator Revati madam. And I thank everyone, convener Anandita Chatterjee madam and coordinator Revati madam, for giving me this opportunity to deliberate a topic on scientific journal ranking in the 5-day virtual workshop on research methodology. So once again, I would like to welcome all the participants for this auspicious event on this day. And thanks one more time for giving me this opportunity. I would like to share my screen. I have a small PPT. I will start with a very small brief introduction regarding this scientific journal ranking and I would like to share my thoughts through a PowerPoint presentation. Thank you, madam, for giving me this opportunity. So I hope my screen is visible to everyone. I hope
Yes, sir.
it is very clear to the participants also. Maybe the participants from the science background are also there. I hope it is from they are from engineering background through. So this is a common practice for every research scholar or a MTech student, though those who wish or who would like to publish a scientific paper or a review paper or a case study paper, research for their research outcomes in a highly reputed journals. So this would not give you a suggestion regarding the which journal, rather than this entire presentation will leads to how to think, how to publish, on in which way we can go, what are the different ways in what are the different ways in what are the different ways to choose a good journal. So I am working as an associate professor with Raghu Engineering College since 2017. Every researcher has a dream that we can have our own time and we can do some good research work, and at most if you have a good outcome of your work, you have to publish. You should not keep it with you. That is ultimate aim of every research scholar or MTech student. So this opportunity, the opportunity has been given in our college in a very vast time domain. So here means they are encouraging at any cost that you have to publish your work and do research work. So the type of the environment what we have created and what they have given to us is a very huge. So I would like to share this because even though you have the outcome, if you don't have the environment, you can't do better. So everything accomplished to publish a paper, everything around you will should support you in order to publish a paper. So the one of the main aspect is the support from the institution, which is very good in our case. So I thank everyone. Before that, I thank the God to for giving this every opportunity. So before going to the this is regarding small introduction about the journals, everything. Just we'll go with an impact factor. Actually, whenever we see a journal, the first thing is how impact in the society, how the journal is impact in the when compared to the others. So this is a very important thing. This is a very important thing in the aspect of a journal. Similarly, where your paper is published, what is the impact factor of your journal is a very important thing for a scholar also, because if you publish a paper which has a good outcome in a journal which is having the low ranking or low impact factor, then your research outcomes will not appear in the world, this universe. So may appear, but it will be very less in the quantity. So what is this impact factor? How these impact factors are designed for each and every journal? There are so many number of streams in, in engineering, in sciences, everywhere. There are so many number of streams still. So how this impact factors are generalized for a journal? So let us see the history of the impact factor. So normally, in order to Science Citation Index (SCI), it is an index which was started in the year 1960. So in order to give a common base ranking for the journals, a Science Citation Index group has been created. In this, many number of journals are associated and registered. So on those journals which are Science Citation Index are highly cited. So why we have to do this? So in order to compare the journals, irrespective of their size, many journals have different number of volumes. Some of them have only 2 issues per year. Some of them have 12 issues per year and more like 24 also. So production, the quantity production, irrespective of this quantity production, they have given a quality production. They want the quality. They are picking up some quality. So using this impact factor, and we have to see that, and we have to observe that one more thing here. The journal impact factor is not an article impact factor. Obviously, article does not have an impact factor, but few articles which have their impact on overall journal's impact factor, but both are not same in this case. And here, the again I'm saying that the number of volumes does not decide the impact factor of the journal. The impact factor means the quantity or the quality. It is not the related to the quantity, regardless it is related to the quality of the work or quality of the journal. And this impact factor, due to this impact factor, there are few journals which delays in reviewing and completely affects the impact factor. So this last point, what I'm going to say, what I'm saying is, it delays due to the delayed in reviewing and the publications, this impact factor affects. This we can see in the next upcoming slides so that you will have a clear idea. So this is the history of the impact factor. Means here the impact factor is a place or a simply a site score where all the journals come into under one roof. Those who are participated, those who are not participating in this group, they are not accounted for this impact factor. So, so what is an impact factor? So journals with high impact factor publish articles that are cited more often than journals with low impact factor. So here means the journals which are having high impact factors means the paper, the research work, what you have done has been cited or referred by many other authors. So if suppose if the journal, if the paper published by you in a particular journal is cited by many number of papers by the other journals, the impact factor of your journal where you have published will be very high. So means in order to publish in a high impact factor journals, you have to cite high impact factor papers or the journals in your manuscript or your reference. Means you have to compare, you have to go along with their research findings. Means even though you have new outcome and new methodology and a new aspect, but the problem what you have taken must be referred from a high impact journal. So then that entire thing will be associated, and you will, if your paper is accepted in that journal, obviously you will have a high number of citations for your work. Means most of the other authors have been are doing your or giving importance to your work, which is a very appreciations towards your work. So here this impact factor is what we are saying is this impact factors, we can simply say it is a measure of quality to rate the journal or to rank the journal. So what are the different factors that influence this impact factor? The first one is we can observe every journal or few journals are based on only reviews. Some of the journals particularly ask what is the type of your manuscript, whether it is a review journal, whether it is a scientific article, whether it is outcome based, whether it is a case study. They will ask at the submission, at the time of submission. Few journals are there which are only consider the review papers. They does not consider the other type of new outcome paper, case study based paper. So these review papers are more cited as compared to the scientific papers, because the review paper reviews a lot number of research papers that are available in a particular problem of interest. So this is common for both engineering and science background students or the scholars. So this is a common, because example I would like to say that sustainable energy and reviews. So it is elsewhere, it is published by elsewhere journal which has 6 issues per year. It considers only review papers. It does not consider the scientific methodology papers or some case studies. So, and one more thing, it is the impact factor. What type of factors influence the impact factor is. One more thing is case reports. Case reports are which are completely based upon the physical existence. Case reports are completely, you have to, some of them social students will also, they took some case studies from the real time world. Like when you go for the engineering background, some of them will do the experimentation. Science background, they will do the experimentation. Some of them which are other than the case studies, like without a practical thing, means if you do a simulations or some using, if you are giving a mathematical expressions, so those papers are less cited as compared to this type of case studies. And one more factor that influences this impact factor is rapid publication time. Some journals will take a heavy time to conduct the review for a manuscript or a research paper, but some of them will, they have time limitation. They have to complete the review within 1 month, within 2 months, within the 3 months. There the reviewers and the editors are particularly accountable to the author, that they promise that we will give the review within a 1 month, within a 2 months. So that type of journals will have more number of publications, more quality papers will also come, because the researcher would like to invest his time in doing some other research before publishing this one. When means they communicate this paper, they start doing the other work. So if they want to publish their work at the earliest, the journal must cooperate with them in order to give their reviews within the time limit. So simply, and one more thing, we have some self citations also. Some self citations also influence the journal's impact factor. The more number of self citations will make the impact of the journal will less. Means, if suppose if I have 10 research papers, in the 11th research paper, if I cite all my 10 research papers, then it is not that much good for the journal also. Maybe the editors, maybe the editors maybe the editor will maybe the editor will does not, or recent editors may not may discourage in these type of all all these all these things. And few fields are there, few journals are there which are biasing towards only some fields, even they have the broader classifications. Means a few journals which are going for conducting that and taking the research work from these fields, particularly these fields only. So they does not bother about the other fields, even though they are capable to adjust these publications in that from that research problems. And if the publication and the first citing of the paper having the longer time, in that journal means the paper or the journal have some impact, that citation have some impact on the impact factor of the journal. And this will accompany those who are latestly emerging journals, like which are newly coming or newly adding in the Scopus, which are converting from Q4 journals to the Q3 journals. So this classification we will see in the next one. So these are the various factors which are influencing the impact factor. So whenever you would like to prepare a manuscript, if you cite a paper, if you consider a paper which is having the highest impact factor, which is of the journal of that particular journal, the editor will see that okay, this author has cited very good papers and very good journals. So that will also gives your probability, increases your probability of acceptance. Not the editor, see, the editor is whole and sole responsible for accepting a manuscript. They have to see the scientific as well as they have to improve the journal's impact factor also. So in this manner they can give simply, they does not simply see the paper whether it has a scientific content or something else like that, but they will see also what are the types of journals they have cited, what are the formatting they are utilizing, how quality the figures are there. So at the editorial stage only, the paper is scrutinized and sent to review in order to reduce the publication time and the review time. So these all factors will influence the impact factor of the overall journal. So finally, what is this journal impact factor? So who will do this one? Who is that? Who is the whole and sole author of this? Who is giving this impact factor? Earlier, Thomson Reuters used to give some impact factor to a journal. So this is right now running by Clarivate Analytics. So what they are doing, they are registering each and every journal and they are giving some impact factors based upon their citations. So simply, whenever you have your paper, if you would like to see how many number of citations have been done for my paper, just I go to my paper, you can have one index, that citations. There you can see a list of authors who have cited year wise or the topic wise or the journal wise, how many authors have cited this paper. So that creates an impact. Few journals in the engineering, I can give an example from engineering, especially from the electrical engineering. The other name called E.B. Fisher. You can search in Google Scholar. He has optimal transmission switching, which has near about 8,000 citations. 8,000 citations only, and his H index is near about 18 or 20. So this Clarivate in analytics, a group, they created a group and they asked all the journals to register in that one, and finally they give an impact factor. So based upon this impact factor, we can simply, the authors can see that okay, the impact factor is good, means we can give our research outcome, we can submit our manuscript to this journal. So obviously, how can we access this? Is Web of Science is there. We can directly Google this Clarivate Analytics, and we can find the number of journals both in engineering and sciences background. Even though when we see in the mathematics also, so many number of journals are there. So this Clarivate Analytics people, what they will give the impact factor on a yearly basis. So obviously our paper may get 100 citations today, may get 101 citations tomorrow. may get 102 citations day after tomorrow. So obviously on an annual basis, the journal, this Clarivate Analytic will take some review of the all the journals and modify their impact factors. So, so how this impact factor is normally calculated by the journal, by the Clarivate index. So before that, till now we have discussed this impact factor, but I would like to add one more thing. Means you can simply say that it is a definition of an impact factor. It is a bibliometric tool. All of you, I hope that those who are doing this research and those who are actively participating in publishing some papers, they all know what is a bibliometry. So bibliometry means what are the types of your in the research works you are citing. That is called your bibliometry. It is a tool to evaluate, means journal impact factor is a tool to evaluate and compare a journal's relative importance to others in the same field based on citation data analysis. So this Clarivate Analytics, the people of this Clarivate Analytics will collect this citation data and do the analysis and provide the impact factor. So the higher impact factor, the more highly ranked the journal. So we can simply say that the journals which are registered under the Clarivate Analytics provide an impact factor which may high or low are authorized. We can simply say are authorized. Those who are not in the under the database of this Clarivate index or the Clarivate Analytics, they are not considered. They are giving as their own. This is the impact factor. They does not have that type of calculations. Generally this impact factor is defined or it is calculated by using number of citations in the year 1 plus number of citations in the year 2 divided by total publications in that year 1 and publications in year 2. So usually this is the impact factor formula to calculate an impact factor. Of course, we from the other side, we don't have that many number of that much access to calculate how many publications from a journal has been delivered, because journal has so many, each and every journal has so many number of issues and so many number of volumes. So we should completely rigorously fetch the details of the publications of that volume, publications of that issue, total number of publications and the number of publications and number of volumes of that issue and number of issues and the number of publications in per issue. So there are so many number of, we have to completely rigorously follow the journal in order to evaluate all these numbers, and journal will do some special issues on different type of special issues on rare case studies, special issues on various special issues on at different emerging concepts. So this will also considered during the calculation of impact factor. So this all analysis will be done by this all complete analysis will be done by the Clarivate analytic people who are top in the our world. Means simply we can say that on our earth. So they are giving this entire journal impact factors to the throughout the journals in both India and other than India. So I just give an example of journal of impact factors. Here, as I belong to the electrical engineering, I completely, and my research work is related to both electrical and energy also. So generally, few journals I have in mind, but I'm not biasing towards the electrical engineering. I'm giving a simple overview of how the journal impact factor and what are its resources. So example, sustainable energy grids and networks. The publisher of this journal is Elsevier. So it is having an impact factor of 5.4 as per citation reports provided by Clarivate Analytics in 2023. This is the latest. And the same journal, when I saw in the 2022, it was having the impact factor of 4.81 only. Within 1 year, it has reached to 5.4, and very soon, means similarly, the previous year in the 2021, I hope so. At that time, this is a journal which is having the Scopus, which is cited in the Scopus, so not in the Science Citation Index. It is just cited in the Scopus. Now it is full-fledgedly, it is listed in or cited by or indexed in. Simply, we can say that Science Citation Index. So this Science Citation Index is a particular database provided by the Clarivate Analytics people to say that out of these 100 journals, 20 journals are cited or indexed by Science Citation Index. Means again, they have subgroup. They have grouped so many number of journals. Means many journals have registered for the Clarivate Analytics, and they have grouped based upon their impact factor and how they are providing the journal, how they are providing the issues. So one more journal in the same fashion is Marine Pollution Bulletin. So it provides a deep, as in the earlier case, sustainable energy grids and network does not have the papers, or they does not account for the review papers. They will take only case studies. They will take only the simulation works. They will take only the mathematical deliberations, but they does not consider the review papers. But in the case of this Marine Pollution Bulletin, they consider all type of papers. Means vast exposure is there for this journal. Means it is having the citation or the, it means as we discussed earlier in the previous slides, that we have the citation reports and we have the review paper does have the no more number of citations, because the review paper reviews what are the different methodologies and gives a research gaps in that one. So most of the authors, those who are at the starting stage, they first see this, what are the different gaps in a particular research problem. So Marine Pollution Bulletin has high impact factor due to this consideration of these review papers. So likewise, the journal impact factors will vary by based upon the considerations done in this type of Clarivate Analytics. And so till now we have seen the what is a journal impact factor. Now I would like to introduce what are these quartile scores and journal rankings. So this Clarivate Analytic people consider very few journals. They ask the journals to submit their data for the qualitative Clarivate Analytics. But most of the journals, actually this Clarivate Analytics is based on USA. Most of the journals, most of the journals are not covered by this Clarivate Analytic people. So in this case, what they will do is elsewhere, which is a base of United Kingdom, they have created one more database that is called SCA Mago. So later in the next slides, we will see what is this SCA Mago, and in that is also a database. Earlier it was the Scopus. Right now it considers both. Obviously, we can say that it is cited in SCA Mago and Scopus. Both are related to Elsevier only. So similar to the Clarivate Analytics, they have given a journal ranking. So based upon their impact factor. So again, this journal, based on the journal ranking, they have created different groups. Those are called quartile scores. Based upon these quartile scores, they have given each and every journal one index, that is Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. In the very next slides, we will see what are these Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. So simply Clarivate Analytics and this SCA Mago, both are two groups which are collecting the databases from every journal in India and out of the India, and they are giving their own databases and their own groups, and they're giving their same impact, few impact factors. So both are same, both are similar, but some aspects, SEA Mago is good. This Clarivator analytics is good, because some undeveloped countries do have the journals, do have the research scholars, which are not having the English as their medium of speaking or medium of writing, but they have a very good result due to this medium of speaking English, medium of English. What all the databases, all the journals which are under other than English as medium, will, even though they have the good research publications, but their exposure to the real world is not there. So these are the type of constraints faced by the so many number of journals in underdeveloped countries, even though they have good journals, good outcomes. So in order to get those results also, this Elsewhere group has created low impact journals, high impact journals, and medium and low medium. So this created a 4 type of groups which are defined as Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, quartile 1, 2, 3, 4. So most highly reputed journals are inserted in Q1, and low and medium will be inserted in Q2 and Q3, and the very low, which are poor, they have inserted in Q4. Means the journals which are in Q4 might give might be there for this year and might not be there in the next year. So this is the overall how I distinguish between the Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. Q1 denotes top 25% of impact factor distribution. Excuse me. Similarly, Q2, it is the middle high position. Q3 is middle low, and Q4 is the lowest position. Means the journals which are emerging today or yesterday, those all comes under this Q4 category. Means they have to develop. They have to develop in their near future. Then only they can cross from Q4 and reach Q3. If suppose if a journal does not meet the requirements of Q4, they will be omitted or eliminated in the very next year. So in the Q4, the journals have entered and maybe omitted in the recent years, which the journals which are having highest impact factors and highest citable articles in their journal, they can jump from Q4 to the Q3. Similarly, the journals and on mid-yearly basis, like this SEM major will do the SEM Mago will do the review analysis of each and every journal for on a year, twice for a year. So most of the journals in the Q4 does not reside there. They may go out and they may jump to the Q3. So before going for publish a paper, we should see which journal and where it is placed. Either it is placed in Q4, Q3, Q2, Q1. We have to observe that one, and we should try to. Obviously, we should try to publish a paper. Every research scholar has an aim to publish a paper in Q1, but most of the works which are having the less contributions does not meet the requirements of Q1 journals. So, but they may publish. So that type of works can be published in the Q3 and Q4. So even though we don't have the means, we are not encouraged to do the works in Q4, but still Q3 is a better option as compared to the Q4, because most of the journals today they will be there, tomorrow they will not be there. So there will be a uncertainty in Q4, but in the Q3, Q2, and Q1, even though there is a lot of uncertainty in Q4 and Q3 also having few percentage of the uncertainty, because few journals which does not meet the requirements as per this databases, does not meet these requirements, means the number of citations must be completed, means till today you have to have 500 citations from all your papers. If that does not have, SCMAGO will remove that journal. Means there is a chances of probability from getting out of Q3 and Q4 is high as compared to the Q1 and Q2. So we can say Q1 and Q2 are the standard journals. So once they reach Q1 and Q2, maximum time they reside there only, they will not come out of that until unless the journal is stopped, or some other journal name is been redefined, or the journal has major change. If they doesn't have the major, until they doesn't have the major change, we can see that a journal has been removed from Q1 or Q2. So this is regarding the quartile scores. And as per my knowledge and my suggestion is, it is very better to observe a journal whether how much time a journal is residing Q4 and Q3 and Q2 and Q1 before publishing or before communicating to that journal. So means because the author must completely see where and how I can publish in my research work. It is very important to get some citations for the paper. So this is my suggestion. So this is not only driven, this can't be driven, but it may be keep it in mind before submission of your manuscript to a journal. So as I said earlier, I'm from the electrical engineering. I just given you a overall view of sustainable energy grid and networks, which is a good journal from the electrical engineering side, and it considers the papers from the energy field also. So for that we can see its impact in the year 2016 is raised till 2022. So it is completely staying in this journal ranking. So here we can observe that during the year 2020, it has changed from paid version to the free version, due to which it has a low number of impact or ranking. So this is the SJR ranking. What we are seeing left graph is showing the SJR ranking. So now you can see there are how many, the middle graph you can see that how many documents have been cited in that particular journal. So in the 2015 we can see a few, very few below 100, and now it is having more than 200 papers are being cited by most of the journals. And at the same time, this 200 number of 200, more than 200 articles are citing this journal. So here now total number of citations for each and every article in that journal. So maybe it is on average total number of citations to all the publications in that article, in that journal, or in the 2015 as it was started, it is near about 0, but in case of 2022 it is near about 1800 citations are there. So within a few days, within a few very short duration like 6 years, even though many journals which are having established in the year 1990s, till date they have not reached in the Q4 and does not indexed by citation index. But this journal having, see how rapidly the number of citations, means the number of citations increase means more number of others are looking after that papers in that journal, means good quality of works are coming out. So this is about the journal, and this is the profile. If you see, if you search in SCMAGO, you can find this type of profile. So from this we can see that the author one can see that okay, this journal reputation is like this journal is doing business like this journal is accepting, or this journal is accepting this type of qualitative papers. So one can have a overview of that particular journal before submission of your research outcomes. So similarly, here we can see in the previous slide, in this slide, we can see the citations by the journal. How many? So few papers, if I have the same paper, I can have self citations also. But here we can have the same thing. How many external citations are there per document on an average? Self citations and external documents. Like if suppose I give you an example, if energy is a journal which is under Elsevier. Similarly, this sustainable energy grid and networks is one more journal. So this sustainable energy grid and networks, what they will do, how many energy documents on energy journals, energy type journals have been cited by, my manuscript, my journal paper, means sustainable energy grid and network. They think that. So that is the score, means how other journals are accessing me. That is the first point. And you can observe the number of citations per document and how many international collaborations with there. Why should we go for this international collaborations? Obviously, it will change the impact factor of the particular journal. So likewise, so right now this particular journal which I'm discussing is in Q1. So it is having a score of 1.23. You can observe this 1.23 in this slide. Here you can see SJR ranking. You can see the 2022, it is having the graph near to 1.2, that is 1.23, approximately 1.23. So that does not that means this is having the SJR score. I can simply say that in future also, if I would like to say, if I suggest anyone to submit a paper to a particular journal, I can suggest this sustainable energy grid and networks. So this is similarly, this is the field from electrical engineering. Every branch of engineering, every branch of science and sub-engineering and sub-research topics and their journals can be visited in this SCA Mago. So you can observe a quartile index, means how, in which quartile it is, like Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, and what is its score, 1.23. Some of them have 8, some of them have 10, and they are staying in Q1. Some of them having 0.4 and is staying in Q2. So don't bother about that one. If the rated journal is Q1 and Q2, you can completely believe the journal, and you can believe that that journal will stay until unless it has few disturbances in the journal's what is that called, management. So you, based upon this one, I search, okay, my manuscript is, this is the journal which is very good, so I can go with this, I can publish in this one. So similarly, obviously every, how they are how we are getting this you can have a what is that called, like, question that how this 1.23 is coming, sir. So this is the simple formula. Every mathematician can observe this formula, and every research scholar can observe this formula, and they can put the values and they will get the score. So this is the, because if I'm giving this formula, means I am not creating this formula. Those are all from the journal's website or that SCA Mago browse, what is it called? We can simply say database. So they are providing, means you can trust them by seeing their what is it called? We can simply say that the transparency in how the journals are, how we are ranking. So based upon this transparency, we can believe them, and we can give, okay, our suggestions to our research scholars to publish in this particular journal as per this SCA macro, as per this clarivatic analytics. So there must be a reference, or there must be a source where we are getting this. So they are showing this equation, means they are giving the transparency transparency, how best they are doing. So this is, and so this what I'm discussing is sustainable energy grid and networks. It does not belong to the electrical. So most of the journals are interdisciplinary in nature. So in order to know which fields this journal can accept, you can have this database also in SCA Mago, which is nothing but, for example, this SJ Sustainable Energy Grid and Network Journal is highly mediumly accessed by control and system engineering people, and highly accessed by electrical and electronics engineering people, and similarly mediumly accessed by energy engineering and power technology people, and similarly renewable energy, sustainable, and the environment people. So means the more coverage of your journal, the more coverage of the journal, the more accessing, the more number of papers will come, the more number of citations will come. Obviously, the more impact factor will receive. So you can observe one more thing. So the H index of this journal is 41, which is very high as compared to the other low rated journals. And this SJR does publish only journals. It does not publish any type of book chapters, a series of books. So there must be a category where we would like to publish. Means you must have a clear-cut knowledge on that. What is the type of publication we would like to do? It is a journal, book chapter, or a edited book, or something lecture notes, or something like what is that called, discussion, or a review paper. So this type of journal, this particular journal, till know what I am discussing, that completely accepts the papers related to the journals only. In that, there are so many number of subcategories, like it may be a case study paper, real-time simulator paper, it may be a mathematical modeling paper, results obtained in them. So that is the subgroup of this journal, but it accepts only subgroup journals, but it does not accept book. So we have to specific about our journal, which is which type of publication it will do, like it is doing books or journals or both. So that must be very clear. So similarly, if you have a journal in your mind, I would like to publish my work at this journal. So you have to first search whether your paper suits your journal, journal or not. So in order to know that, once you see in this SCA Mago profile, if you type your journal name, they will give the entire profile, and they will give the list of subject area and their category where this paper can be, where this journal is accessible. If suppose in that subcategory or the subject area, if your area is residing, then you can simply submit your manuscript. So we have right now we have journal impact factor by Clarivate Analytics, and we have other database like SCA Mago. So these are the few differences. Normally Clarivate analysis will do the analysis on a yearly basis. They will do, these will do, SCA Mago people will do the twice on a year, and here articles and reviews, here everything will be covered. Conferences, most reputed conferences will also be covered, and here science, technology, social sciences, and here multiple disciplinaries like biology, so many other things have been incorporated. Means every database has their own pros and own cons. So similarly, so these are the various differences between this SCA Mago and what is that called, Clarivate Analytics people, where the impact factor and SCA Mago ranking both are approximately same, but they simply reflect how impact this journal is. So there are few limitations of impact factor. So what are that? So it reflect a journal, not an article. Impact factor is for with a journal, but not an article. And it will vary with the time in numbering and ranking. Like number of citations changed in this year means the impact factor for the next year will change, or this year only it will change. So completely depends upon the citations. Continuous follow-up must be there in order to improve your impact factor. And so similarly, there are few limitations like if an author does not properly cite a journal or another research paper, means the other research paper, the journal associated with this one will have the one less citations, which creates an impact on again impact factor. So these errors are very oftenly observed in the impact factors. So similarly, we have many number of articles and we don't have those many number of citations. Like if you have 20 articles, only 20 articles out of 20 articles, only 80% of the articles only cited. Remaining 20% are not getting cited. So we have to keep it in that mind. So, and the impact factor of a journal, few journals, not every journal, few journals will vary with respect to an issue also. Some of them will give 12 issues per year, but some of them will give only one issue per year. So in that case, the impact factor will vary. So means if a author says that I have published a paper in a highly impact factor journal, in that case, the person who is going to scrutinize him, he will check that which issue and what is the impact factor. So those are the various limitations of this impact factor. And finally, I would like to say that I would like to conclude my entire that it is very advisable before going to publish. You need to search several tools. Obviously, every research scholar will put their entire effort to make a paper, but before going to publish your paper, it is entirely author's responsibility to check which journal we are publishing. The much effort in searching a journal, the good outcome after publishing the you will get a good outcome after publishing your paper. So obviously, whenever you have done a very good job, that must be appreciated by many people in the across the globe. So that place where we would like to publish is an impact. It will create a impact. So like that, choosing a journal is also very important. And there are several criteria. Each that depends upon the type of paper you are going to do and paper you are going to submit. So means maybe the impact factor is low, but it is highly cited in SCMAGO. So I'm saying that you can have the Q1 and Q2 journals, means that is good. You can publish your paper. So because those are standard journals which does not move and which does not go from the Q1 and Q2. So so I hope everyone has got good few words regarding this journal impact factors, citations, and how and what are the different ways to publish the paper. And I hope this this is a you means reach your mind. This may reach your mind. And I will sincerely thank you all for listening to my lecture. And if you have any queries, I am here to listen you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, sir, for your presentation. Now the session is open for queries from the participants. If you want to ask any question, you can unmute and you can ask questions to sir.
Ragopal sir.
Yes.
Okay. So many times what we see is even though the journal is not in purpose or SCI, if you go to the website of the journal, we see
Yes.
that the impact factor is 9, 10. So
Yes,
they
sir.
write many
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, what are the measures that we take in order to get ourselves out of those kind of
Sir,
bogus journals?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What you said is exactly right. Most of the journals have the impact factor like 10, 9. Like I can give some few names like International Journal of American Research Society. So most of the journals are like this. So my sincere suggestion is, sir, once go to the website Clarivate Analytics and SCA Mago, you just type that journal name in their databases. If those databases provide a result regarding this one, and there you can see the impact factor and its ranking of the journal. So there, that those who are providing means like Clarivate Analytics, they provide the impact factor and they provide the citation report. If you see that one, if you find your journal there, means it is good. Means they can be indexed at anywhere, but the same value what you are seeing on the journal's website must be presented there. Then we can believe that okay, this is a good journal. Otherwise, we can't believe them. It is a good journal.
Yeah, thank you.
Sir, any other questions, sir? Respected participants, if you have any questions, I will be here only.
No questions, sir.
Sir,
Yes, ma'am.
sir, can you suggest any websites which we can come up with the citation of these journals? Any reference websites?
Yes, madam. I will share you. I just give you a small demo. I just share my web browser.
Okay.
So you can visit these sites. It is very, very easy. So you can see Clarivate analysis. You can find this Clarivate analysis. Below that, you can have the master journal list.
Okay, sir.
If you give a if you select this master journal list, then I can have a search bar. So here I can give one energy like this. If suppose my journal name is energy, I would like to check whether it is good or not. Search journal.
Okay.
So actually, I know that energy is related to Elsevier. So I got this energy, and it is related to Elsevier only. And it has been cited in Science Citation Index expanded. So means this energy journal is a good journal. We can simply say that. Similarly, this is the first one, madam. Another one is simply SCI MAGO. Another one.
Okay.
Just you can click here.
Okay.
We can click here and we can put the same thing here, energy again. It will show some journals. Out of them, we can select one journal. See here, there are energy. The title energy is matched with many of the other journals also. So hence we got so many number of journals here. So we have to select. This is madam, energy, United Kingdom and Elsewhere Limited. So you can observe this is the how this is the ranking is there. So here we can see its H index is 232, which is very, very high. And similarly, we can have how many, you can see that in the energy, how many subfields are covered: building, civil, electrical, energy engineering. Many things have been covered.
Yes, sir.
Similarly, we can find this journal in Q1. So in this way, we can select a journal and we can verify it with major database.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for your clarification.
Thank you very much, sir, for your input. Sir, I have a small question.
Yes, madam.
Sir, how long it takes for a journal to enter for this quartile? What is the time period? When it starts? Is there any minimum time period?
For publication, madam.
Not for publication, for getting ranked in Q1, Q2.
Actually, it completely depends upon the number of issues and the date of time of registration. If you register your journal in between January and July, or we can say June, if you are providing only one issue for this entire 6 months period, then it will come within the next session from the July to December. Otherwise, it will not come and it will not be rated, or it will not give any rank. These databases will not give any rank. So whenever you have this July to December session, if you are registering in July to December, already you have published one issue in the month of March or April, one issue, and here you have the second issue. Compulsory it will take 1 year. Next July session it will come. Because already you have published one issue, they will wait for citations. Until unless they didn't get this citation report, you will not proceed with the rank, because all these ranks are completely depends upon the citations of the paper. So first issue released, number of citations done. After that, you will can have the ranking of that particular.
Thank you, sir. Is there any other questions?
No.
Okay, sir. No other questions.
Okay, thank you all.
If there is no other questions, we are going to conclude this session. So I would like to thank Dr. Rajgopal sir for his very impressive and very informative lecture on SJR, Scientific Journal Ranking. He has given a very clear idea about the rankings, and I hope every participants are now they are aware of the rankings, how they are ranked, and which journal should be selected for publications. So I thank again for Rajgopal sir for accepting our request and presenting his talk in this FDP. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, sir. This session is over. We will meet again for the next session, afternoon session, which is at 2 o'clock. All of you join sharply at 2 o'clock. Thank you all for attending this session.
Thank
ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ದು ಅಷ್ಟು